And hello YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Zone TV Movie Entertainment. With me, your host Jonathan, once again bringing you my movie review for the and non-spoilers, people, for Spider-Man Far From Home. Non-spoilers here, so let's begin. So Spider-Man Far From Home is the latest and 23rd film of the MCU and the final film for Phase 3. You know, before Phase 4, and this is also a Sony movie. They work together. Sony owns the rights, so there you go. I will do spoilers for Endgame, so if you haven't seen Endgame, walk away now, because this one is pretty like connected to that, literally. So we all know that pretty much Spider-Man, and pretty much I'm pretty sure everybody knows that his classmates all got dusted. So they all come back. It's kind of like 5 years later. Everybody knows that Iron Man's dead, and now Spider-Man is like living in a world where he doesn't know what he needs to do. Should he still be Spider-Man, or should he just be following Iron Man's footsteps and try to be the world's hero, you know? Because, you know, he's just a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He wants to just save his neighborhood and all his friends. So he goes on vacation with his classmates, and, you know, he sees Nick Fury. And when you see Nick Fury, things start to go kind of down, where he's got to fight these monsters. And then he meets a person named Quentin Beck, played by Jake Gyllenhaal. And things get a little crazy with Mysterio. Mysterio is a great character. In the comics, he's a visual effects person now. He worked on movies and all that stuff. And in the comics, he kind of went crazy. And then he decided to use the technology to do bad things, and he became one of Spider-Man's biggest enemies. Also a member of the Sinister Six in the comics. So in this version, it's pretty much similar, but you don't know exactly who he is and what his motivation is in this movie. You eventually find out in the movie, but in the beginning you're like, okay, so he's going this direction, but eventually he goes that direction. Alright. And the origin they give him in this is actually pretty cool, because it kind of ties into some of the other MCU movies that you probably wouldn't even think about them going back that deep. So it's like, that's cool. I'll give you a hint. It's kind of similar to what they did with Vulture in the last Spider-Man movie. Kind of like that, but more deeper. But it was actually very cool. Jake Gyllenhaal did a really good job in this movie. I really liked him as Mysterio. I always liked the character. I kind of liked the character in the animated Spider-Man cartoon, the 90s one. That was a cool character, so them kind of making it like him really worked. Obviously Tom Holland Spider-Man, he's actually getting better at this than ever. I still prefer Tobey Maguire a little bit, but Tom Holland's like living right there. I love Andrew Garfield too, but still I think Tom Holland's a little bit better than he is. But, yeah. But if I'm going to compare him to Tobey Maguire in all three movies, Tom Holland is way better than Tobey Maguire in all three movies. But in the first one, compared to this one, the first Spider-Man movie, the original, it's back and forth. I switched the two of them between. Anyway, like I said, he's still a very good Spider-Man and a very convincing Peter Parker. And it works, you know, when you watch him, you don't look like him, you don't look at him as like this 20-something-year-old. I don't know how old he really is. He's like 20-something, and he's actually playing a high school kid, and it's still believable. So it works. Zendaya, let's face the facts, she's Mary Jane. I'm going to call it here right now, case closed. She's Mary Jane Watson. Maybe not the actual Mary Jane Watson that we all know and love from the comic books and the cartoon and the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, but I think in this version of the MCU version, she's going to be their MJ or Mary Jane, without actually them calling her Mary Jane, but whatever. Maybe down the road he'll meet her, or they swap it up, and down the road in a couple of films later he'll meet Gwen. Who knows? But for right now, she's MJ, so she did a really good job. Obviously his best friend Ned did a good job as well, and the other girl, the blonde one, she was great as well. Even the guy who played Flash from the first one, he's back as well. He did a good job. This whole movie was just a lot of fun. It felt like a really cool Spider-Man movie. Had a great laughs, great action, a great villain, and it really connects with the MCU in a way without actually forcing it on you. You know what I mean? And it worked. Samuel Jackson, Maria Hill, obviously. You know, Kobe Smalls, I believe that's her real name. And Aunt May is like, wow, Marissa Tomei is like, really? Like, that woman does not age at all. So it's like, I feel like we had a real snap in real life, she'll still be the same age when she comes back. So yeah, that's scary. But she was great. Even Jon Favreau, who directed the first Iron Man and who plays Happy Hogan, he was great. Everybody did a really good job in this movie. Like I said, even the villain was great. The visual effects on the monsters were cool. Sony did a really good job. Obviously, Marvel too. They did a really good job of making Spider-Man feel like a Spider-Man movie, but also feel like he's also still part of the MCU, because when you watch Spider-Man, you don't really see him too much hanging out with all the Avengers. And it was great him not having teammates, teaming up with Avenger characters anymore. I feel like this one was way better because it focused more on him. Last one, yes, it did the same thing, but it still had Iron Man in it, and it felt like, yeah, we get it. He's part of the MCU, but in this one, it felt like it was just Spider-Man, but he lives in the world of the MCU where all the other heroes are there, but he's doing his own thing, and it works better, and it was great. What else? The after credits, there are 2 of them, people, so stay to the mid and the very end, because wow, I think I might just do a video on just that alone, but wow, that just opens the door for the MCU moving forward. But it was a lot of fun. I highly recommend watching Spider-Man Far From Home. It's a great movie. Go check it out. It might be my second favorite Spider-Man movie. Maybe my third, depending. I'm gonna have to watch it again. But Spider-Man Into Spider-Verse is still the best, only because that movie did more things than this one did in terms of what Spider-Man's universe looks like. But for MCU film, this is the best one because it doesn't really shove it in your face. Like, oh, here's all the MCU stuff, here's the Hulk stuff, here's the Iron Man stuff, or the Avengers stuff. Nope, it just, here's Spider-Man. We know what happened to Iron Man. Okay, whatever. Move on. Focus on Spider-Man and what he has to do. And that's it. And it worked. And I loved it. And it was great. So leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about it, if you saw it. And what are you looking forward to the most moving forward for MCU's Phase 4. Because this door literally opens that door for that. So, yeah, we just gotta wait for Comic-Con for the official announcement of what these movies are going to be. So stay tuned for more. Thank you very much and have a good day.